about it, but I think there's just nothing else in town.
You're talking about the ragfish stew, right? That stuff would peel the bark off a tree.
Oh, that's delicious.
The last time I had it, I was bedridden for days. I don't know how they eat there every day.
I had a buttermilk biscuit there once. Spent the next week in the privy.
You just gotta soldier through it a few times. Builds character and a strong stomach.
Let me get this straight. You spoke to the spirit of Nandru, a godlike, same as you. What did he say? Any advice? Any words of encouragement? That doesn't bode well. I should have seen this coming. Never listen to the dead. They're cynical, full of regret, and determined to make us all miserable. Thankfully, you're still alive. Fate is in your hands. What happened to Nandru was ages ago. Plenty of time to reconsider one's choices. No one is closer to Sapadal than you are. Nandru lost that privilege when he died, which means you alone can judge the god of the living lands. Your opinion is the one that counts. A caged animal lashes out at friend and foe alike. For what it's worth, I think you're going to be fine. No matter what you do about Sapadal, it can't get any worse. I wish I could say the same for the living lands. Until next time.
That illusory blizzard to enter the domain. Jeez.
A breath held. Trepidation. You are close, yet distant still. Your soul is small. The essence weighs like the sea on your chest. We feel the pressure, darkness, yet somehow strengthened resolve. We wonder. We did not foresee this. An equal trade, we accept. The sky is green. The fish breathes air. We can no longer imagine. We would Run. Roll with the tide. Sink our fingers into new earth. Whisper in the fields. Lift the hills gently in our hands. Disturb the dirt, but spare the blooms. Shake the roots slowly. Vengeance denied. Squandered. This cannot be. We spoke of flowers. We speak of freedom when the hand still clasps around our throat. Wake now. Find us.
I see the disciple has found his way into the cell.
No. We know this voice, this presence, sneering at us through our prison bars.
I culled your rot from this land before. I will do it again. And is. You carve lands into petty fiefdoms, but we are the gods of all Aora. The usurper has confused you. Allow me to make things clear.
Out! Her voice pierces our skin.
Look at this place. A quagmire of your
Hey,
parasite's
GT.
worst
Are you asking if
instincts.
the character was asleep?
Can you even begin to grasp the forces that you tamper with? Apparently, I must. The situation is worse than I perceived. Do you think you're special, with your god's thorn in your side? Do you believe you can hold dominion over chaos itself? When even the collective fury of the real gods could only confine the sniveling creature to this wasteland. I have merely told the truth that does not suit you.
It is true. She twists the knife. The seas run red with memory.
In time, the gods felt the wretched powers seeping through this land. Its madness would consume us all if it was not contained. Chaos threatens us all. We will ensure order prevails. A pity that its followers could not be reasoned with. You were better for it. The poor godless, worshipping the very thing that subsumed them. We could not excise the rot and spare the roots that nourished it. You know the trials of battle. You cannot pass judgment on me. My tools barely touch them. Your tyrant burned everything in its wake.
We moved the earth and sky to stop her. We did not mean this.
Listen to its tantrum. It knows neither order nor sense. Adir is the only thing holding back the tide of entropy. I refuse to even dignify that with a response. But there is still time. You can succeed where Ludwig failed. Face your false god and end its reign of terror permanently. Your soul, it is tethered to you. Only you can siphon its essence into yourself. Very well. I cannot force a child to bend to my will. But I will not stand by and watch you undo my work. You should have thought more carefully before you broke your oath to the Empire. Let this be a lesson to you.
Never understood Lodica's appeal. Still don't.
That's it. From now on, I pray to no god.
Another glorious battle.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at that thing move. Wish there was time to study it before it kills us. Protect the envoy.
Right place!
On your right! Heal yourself! Quick! Quick as a fox!
Next one's mine!
Your reputation is well deserved.
What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. Please, Viate. This is where you need to be right now.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Right. Okay, I can do this. Let's get into it.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Good. And when he arrives here, he will have me to deal with. Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
It was a burden I wasn't ready to carry. I went out on patrol nearly every rotation, looking for Razvan or death, or ideally, both. Don't be like me, Marius. You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now? What? Worse than Ianku's tragic death?
I can't say I loved that part most.
We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. More like tolerate, in my case, but... right.
See what I put up with, Envoy? Still wonder why I left Solace?
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
was good to see you, Viate. With all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Enemy to the right! Bad envoy! Faster, I say! You're bleeding! Never had a chance. Dodge this!
I was just getting warmed up. Stay on your toes. You're mine now! To your left!
Under my protection!
Nothing stopping me!
Watch your right!
You okay?
Heal yourself! Quick! quick as a hawk! Nicely done. Who's next? Anyone?
Little power goes a long way. Just a little spark.
We've got company!
Coming from the rear. One for you! Everyone okay?
Charge it. This power goes a long way.
Incredible.
I should have brought my sketchbook. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. I hate it. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? They have a sick sense of humor. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
This is almost as bad as Ringram's creepy sculptures.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giada Castell, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sopadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing. Indeed, Sopadal learned to whisper.
What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sopadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat. But that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual. Organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good animancer embraces death. And they were the best. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
That's 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Shit. This is going to hurt. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giada. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Even a god can learn to regret.
Sapadal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do. Seen, as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it. Our purpose draws to a close. A long rest is assured. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
This feels like one of those times when getting answers doesn't mean getting closure. Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those, plant people?
Well, I've seen things not intended for mortal eyes. All this time, I thought my parents died in a freak accident. An experiment gone awry. A mistake. And in a way, they did. But it wasn't their mistake. It was Sapadal's. That's what I keep asking myself. This whole experience has me considering my family's work in a different light. Look at what my mother accomplished. Armed with her research and her wits, she found a god. When you speak to a god, it's nothing. Barely a reflex. But for the rest of us, it's unimaginable. No Animancer can live up to that. Certainly not me. I thought their legacy was a curse, and I could only break it by completing their work. I was wrong. I suppose I have been all this time. I just never realized it. One thing is certain. When it comes to animancy, I need to unlearn some of my old assumptions. I wanted to tame the spirit of the living lands. Now, there's so much about it I don't understand. And it's creepy, but wonderful. Perhaps, as long as no one gets in my way. I believe the power flowing out of the garden drove this island mad. That has to end. Through animancy, we could help the living lands recover. It would take a lifetime, maybe more, but that's a small price to pay. Then again, who am I to interfere with an ecosystem that I barely understand? On the other hand, half the fun of animancy is stirring the pot and getting into trouble. I think I know what I want, but there are too many variables to consider. What do you think? I have a lot of catching up to do, and plenty of room to grow. But I think you're right. So be it. Starting today, I don't have to live up to anyone's example. Animancy can be whatever I make of it. I know they would be. And not just because some ancient plans told me so. Now I just have to decide which field of research to pursue. But no need to bore you with the details. I've only got one lifetime as Giata Castel, so I'd better make it count. Hey, you helped me through a very difficult time. I just wanted to say thank you.
Giada's parents would be proud, and maybe a bit worried.
I came here to help you do whatever you're supposed to do with your god friend. Instead, I'm here talking to dead people. I think it did. He really did seem at peace, right? I imagine most encounters with dead old friends don't, go so well. I owe a lot of that to you, Envoy. You helped me be someone who could handle Sokka like that. Thank you. I will say, it's not really what I expected when I started tracking you and Kai back in Paradise. You're in a good place, then. Strange seems to follow you like dust gnats. It's been a bit of a ride, Envoy. I feel like it's coming to an end. One way or another. I don't know. Maybe the unexpected isn't so bad after all. I never expected you and I would become friends. Quick note. If you tell any of the others I said that, I'll poison your drink. Anyway. You too. So those green people in the garden, those weren't your parents?
No. They were...
Coming in hot.
Walk like it's hard. Childlike.
Stand back.
That's done. What, my guitar?
Left leg! Try.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
back on my feet. Nothing like a win with a good team.
This place feels familiar. Hurry, let's go inside. This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved, no matter the cost. I wonder who she was. She looks sad and familiar. There it spells. This is just like... I've seen this place before. In my dreams. Garlowain's gonads. Envoy? I never told you this, but I've dreamed of this place every night for most of my life. This is a godless library. An actual, real-life godless library. It's why I study the godless, because this place has haunted me since I was a child. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. Must you always default to military tactics? Finally, you've arrived. Ah, there it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
You could be twins. Except your hair's better.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
This is definitely sounding like one of Giada's ghost stories.
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean... the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've... heard... Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Must it always be literal blood? Oh, if all the Echidans outside were with you, you would have heard them as they were killed. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. You're not helping, Envoy. Yatsley, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... Someone must tell the story of the Akida, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatsley. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatsley, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akida will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? Oh, you're no help at all. Please, I ask for your opinion because I want it. Tell me, what do you think? I'm already intrigued. You don't need to lay on the guilt, Envoy. I'm so glad that one of Sapadal's chosen stands with you, Yatsley. Our time is at an end, Yatsley. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rites. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatsley alive. She is the last hope of the Akida. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. Choose well, Yatsley. And good luck. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later.
Starting to think these people killed themselves off.
Yeah.
Let's take a break before we continue. There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. Same. I'd rather have good company in a prison than paradise alone.
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled, but when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the dream scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
Under the circumstances, that's entirely reasonable.
Join the club.
I'd been more concerned if you weren't scared. Did you think we'd judge you for that?
That may be true on the battlefield, but not among friends.
None of us thought this would be easy. For you, most of all. We've survived our own hardships. Now we'll survive yours.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you found your own killer, lulled him into complacency, and handed him over. You're shrewd. Even here, where you should be out of your depth and out of your element, you stayed 2 steps ahead.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor, and actually heard me. You saved my city, and gave me a home. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
I thought you could have been more helpful, personally.
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. One crisis at a time, please. I can only lose so much sleep.
He's right. Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Right. We could all use some beauty rest. We'll want to look our best on the battlefield, won't we?
Get some rest. That goes for everyone.
Oh, Envoy. Have you recovered yet from our chat in the library? I don't think I have yet, but maybe talking it out will help. I think I just need to say some things out loud, if that's all right. It's just... we already have a lot to take care of, don't we? We have a god and an empire, both vying for our attention, and now I have this legacy forced on me. I was already unsure what to do, and now a third option appears like the world's worst surprise. But it makes sense. My whole life has been about the godless in one way or another. It explains why I knew the language, why I felt so drawn to the ruins. It's not an answer I would have expected, but it's an answer. And now that I know, I kind of thought, well, honestly, I feel more full. Like a puzzle piece sliding right back into place. No matter what happens, even if my path doesn't lead to the library, I feel better than I have in ages. So am I. I think... For the first time in my life, I don't know what to do.
Congratulations, Yardsley. Now you're just like the rest of us.
No matter what, I've always known exactly what I want. But this is the first time I've had more options than time in the day. What do you think? I ask because I want your advice, Envoy. Please. What do you think? You're right. The Akita have been with me my whole life, in one way or another. I owe it to them and myself to see it through to the end. Thank you, Envoy. I've been agonizing over this for longer than I want to admit. Finally picking a destination makes the journey a lot easier. Oh, but I am not looking forward to telling Quilici.
He'll understand. Your happiness and fulfillment are everything to him.
Well, come on. We've bigger things to deal with. Literally, in Sapadal's case. Much as I'm loath to relinquish the spotlight, we should be off. And Envoy, thank you, truly. Now, let's go. Marius, dear. How are you feeling?
I'm alright. Good to see an old friend, you know?
It's saying goodbye, that's the hard part.
Abadal's prison, I think. What else could it be? Time to shut it down forever.
Let's look around. There's got to be a mechanism somewhere around here.
Something that hurts. Careful, to the left!
That's what matters.
Left leg!
Let's finish this.
Enemy at your back!
Look up, envoy. Is that all you got?
You're bleeding! Hi, weapons ready.
Watch your left.
Mind of its own. I'm rooting for the skeletons.
Oh no, you don't.
how you imprison a god.
Keep your guard up. It would be nice of someone to mark that spot for us.
That's it. The heart of the garden. Sabadell's cage.
Defenses up!
I can't! That's more like it!
Quick as a fox!
Quiet as a soul. Not very good.
Nothing's stopping me! It burns! It burns! Your armor's too weak here. That's it!
To the right! Speed up! There he is! You won't get through this! Watch your right! It burns! It burns! Come on! Come on!
What for you? Nothing stopping me.
Quick as a fox!
Left leg.
From the left! My protection! Another throw for the lead.
Not looking so good. On your right.
That's done? Who's hungry?
after so long. You are so small. We questioned if you were real. Then steps. A voice. Through armies and corrupted soil, you persevered. Now, you are here. The rot. We feel it festering and spreading. What is it but an extension of our pain? Your dream scourge will end when our suffering does. We were innocent once. We woke, and we wanted nothing but connection. But the other gods imprisoned us, left us to suffer alone in this place. But you are here now. You found us, a sprout in the endless winter. There is little time. We would be freed from these bonds. The Strangler is close now. We feel her wire against our flesh. She begs for our blood. Her wolves defile the city on the shore. Blood on the tile. The people's cries ring in our ears. She pierces us now. Now! We will not brook this. Not again. A spark. Wait. The essence bends here. Time flows into itself. You can reach her. Will the garden to open, it will take you there. A mountain of essence. We strain, but it will move for you. We were everything. What have we lost? What multitudes could we contain? We could run, leap in the water, flourish in forgotten hills. We must. We shall. We have been thinking of this. We mourn our past. We only seek peace now. A chance to regrow. We trust you. You who have been by our side for so long. You met death and imposed the law of mortals. It should have been better. For us. For him. We deserve mercy. All of us. Give us peace. We want a chance to change. We deserve that opportunity. Do you think we have learned nothing from you? We deserve more than this prison. Let us have a chance to rest. We want peace. Or do you have no more mercy for us than you did for the bear? The beautiful thing you killed, already you have forgotten. We asked what you would do with an animal that sickened after a fight. Do you remember what you said? More than anything, that is what we desire too. Treat us as you would the bear. Clean our wounds, heal us. Grant us the same. The time has come for you to act. End our pain, and the dream scourge will cease. Give us peace. It is all we have wanted for so long. Center your thoughts. Reach for us. Clear the fog. Tear down the gates. We were so blind, so lost. We brought such horrors to this place. We feel bright. We had forgotten what it is to live. We will grow. Tend, flower. We will always remember this. We will remember you when you are ash and soil and mold.
Andra's depths.
It's paradise. Paradise. But what
Are we back in Dawnshore? Already?
This is Sapadal's doing. I'm certain of it. No power in Aora could transport us so quickly, or so far. What happened to the living lands started long ago, and we're going to finish it.
Are you seeing this? I don't think Paradise looked like this when we left it.
Looks like the war already started, and the giant roots are winning.
Marius, vines don't usually get that big this quickly, do they?
Based on their growth and size, I'd say we've been gone 2 or 3 weeks.
For once, I wish I wasn't. Who knows if the garden affected time, or merely our perception of time? Assuming there's even a difference.
It's like how a body fights an infection. The fever gives you strange dreams that feel like an eternity.
Look at this place. It feels like we're still in the dream. And not just us. Those are more your people's ships in the harbor, and steel garrote banners past the barricades. That can't be good.
Even Ringrim is here. Perhaps we'll get to see an Archmage in action.
I think I see Elia as well. What a strange reunion this will be.
The Blessed Wardens are here too. That conflict we've been trying so hard to prevent started without us.
Always better than the reverse.
The Steel Garrote have been itching for a fight this whole time. This would have happened with or without us.
Before we go, what happened back there with the Dream Scourge and Sapadal?
I'm not sure. That's good, right?
It's a relief that the Dream Scourge won't be a problem. I only hope we can say the same about Sapadal. Time will tell, I suppose.
After all this time, they're free. And the living land is free to heal.
We've cured the land, and we've even freed a caged god. All in all, rather a successful day.
Kid and God entwine. The flower shades the soil in which it grows.
We should take a look. See if we can get ahead of whatever storm is brewing down there.
People seem to be gathering west of here. Whatever's happening, let's be a part of it.
Sansa. They marched in with no warning. I couldn't think. Envoy! What does the Garrote think they're doing? It's an outrage. What did the artisans or merchants do to them? I took my notes and bolted when they came through Hightown.
They didn't think I was worth the trouble.
Right now, that's a good thing.
If you're looking for survivors, a few of us fled to the Balrog.
How many?
I'm not sure. I saw Sapiento. God, I hope they're not trapped in there. I am sorry I can't be more help. You always were a forgiving friend.
We should move. Let's hope the Garrote hasn't made it to the Balrog yet.
Envoy, wait! Before you go, I may have something for you. I took some supplies when I ran. If you think they'll help, they're yours. I'll even give you a discount. You know, for saving the city and everything.
Why is there snow here?
It's gotta be Ringgrim's work. I heard she made it snow in Shatterscarp.
A familiar face. We meet again, Envoy. Paradise burns, thanks to Ludwine and the Steel Garrote laying siege to it. But the Dream Scourge is gone.
It wouldn't be the first time she's come back.
It's remarkable how hard you mortals fight for causes that'll be forgotten within centuries. Still, I do think the world has been irrevocably, if minimally, changed by your actions. A tsunami inevitably rejoins the ocean as simple water. The analogy only really works if you're mortal, and I'm not. It is indeed. I'll admit, I almost miss it. The mystery, the days of research. Now we're back to simple mortal drama. Perhaps. A new god being set loose on the world is certain to have consequences. Mostly, I'm curious about whether you think you've made the right choice. Wise answer, that. I am interested in seeing the outcome of your story, Envoy. With luck, it won't end with you also on fire. Unfortunately, you'll likely be dead the next time I return to the Living Lands. Goodbye, Envoy. And Yardsley, I do look forward to when all of this is done. I am eager to work with you.
Oh, yes. We'll, discuss that later.
Oh, Envoy. How good to see you here as we stand together at the brink of this historic event. I don't know if thank you is precisely what I want to say, but I am grateful to you for bringing Dolna's theft to light. Paradise burns from the torches of the Steel Garrote. The people of the Living Lands stand ready to defend their home. I have no doubt that this will be only another chapter for you. But nevertheless, whatever the outcome of the upcoming battle, do not forget us. I fear that more than our deaths. If Adir and the Steel Garrote have their way, they'll strip the history books of any mention of our culture and our ways. Future generations will only ever know us as an appendage of the Empire. I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope so, Envoy. I truly do. That's as much as I'll say. You have a role in deciding what happens next. Do the right thing, Envoy. Let history remember you for the correct reasons. What happens in Donjur shall ripple across the living lands.
Giata, where have you been? Envoy, I knew you'd show up eventually.
How is Emerald Stair? More importantly, how are you?
Thriving on both counts, I'm happy to report. My revenants were just getting comfortable in Thirdborn when the Steel Garrote stepped out of line. When I heard tensions were brewing, I thought to myself, this is a job for the undead. So I gathered the flock. Likewise. I'll keep them on a tight leash, just in case the Steel Garrote breach our defenses. Better to have them and not need them. Oh, and I've been meaning to thank you. Whatever you did in the garden seems to have worked. Emerald Stair is healing, believe it or not. Once this is over, our crops will flourish like never before. Indeed. The metaphysical currents of the living lands are beginning to settle. Best of luck out there. And don't worry about a thing. My flock will keep us safe and secure.
Thank you, Elia. My compliments to the flock, as always.
I wasn't worried until she said that. Let's get...
We know you. Did you help us? We must have seen you in a dream.
I thought Belena would be safer if she were here with me.
We smell steel. Should we run? Or could we stay here and tend?
The envoy. Is that you?
I'm not going to live under tyranny again.
Envoy, how did you... I don't know.
It's great to see you again, but... where the fuck did you come from?
You just appeared out of nowhere. Once word about Paradis reached us, we were allowed to go.
That's not important right now, Radut.
Right. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make one request while you're here. As much as you can, be good to the Living Lands. Yes, but more than that,
What Radut is saying, Envoy, is that we know the adherents can put us through worse. And we don't want it to get bloody.
I'd just like for us to live lives that are free. For us. Not Adir to determine our fates. It's going to be up to you, Envoy. I know you have much to do, so I'll just leave you with that. Thank you.
We cannot afford to hesitate. When we strike as Fargrunen, we strike as one.
Going diving into ancient ruins doesn't make much sense to me. You're going into some of the most deadly places in the lands. on purpose.
So, here we are. The first and last battle for the living lands. If the garden didn't kill us, I don't think anything can. Metaphysically, the battle is already over. Sapadal is free, and the Dream Scourge is gone. But politically, we have a small mess to tidy up. I intend to send a message to the Steel Garrote, and it won't be subtle. Anyway, who knows what tomorrow will bring, so let's be grateful for today. You've earned a little peace of mind. I think that's enough wool gathering for now. Besides, I need to tinker on the phantasmal focus. Make sure it's ready for war. Don't stay up too late. If I must.
There you are, Envoy. You ready for this? Understood. Same here. I guess it helps we have a god on our side, right? I mean, a god beats a skeleton knight any day. This is just cleanup. Just figuring out who controls the living lands from here out. You said it, not me. Anyway, you should get some rest. Oh, if you need to rehearse any speeches or whatever, make sure you do it in front of someone else. I promise you I've heard it. Talk to you later, Envoy.
What a mess.
Envoy? Is it really you? Mihala told us you went into some place called the Garden to seek a god?
When you didn't return, we took you for dead.
What did you see there? The god you felt in Nokutadek?
It's too preposterous to believe. How could a plague be ended by speaking with a god?
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let them speak. It's been weeks, Envoy. What happened?
Finally, a ray of sunlight shines through the storm cloud.
I will not grovel at the Envoy's feet for solving a plague I am not convinced was real.
Consider yourself blessed to be so ignorant, then. Thirdborn lost more good people than wardens with wits.
You know nothing of me or my people, you fucking pirate!
Warden Commander, look around you. Is this really the time?
We believe the Dream Scourge was a malady of the soul. How did you put an end to it, Envoy?
Sapadal was responsible for the Dream Scourge. Their rage, their confusion, their fear.
So you say. But Shatterscarp is still littered with dream thralls, and Temerity is still pacing her room muttering in the dark.
There won't be any new infections. We've put a stop to that for good. Unfortunately, there's little we can do for those already in the grip of the Dream Scourge. We can give them comfort, nothing more. This will be a process. The Dream Scourge was never going to simply go away overnight.
I suppose it stands to reason. I found that a quick fix is often anything but. What of this god, then? What does it mean that you freed them?
Wodka no doubt saw Sapadal as a threat to her authority. So, she killed the godless and imprisoned their god.
I assume it is this god we have to thank for the roots tearing apart Paradis? They erupted from the earth the moment those bastards stood up their first siege tower.
Naku Tedek was riven with those things, not to mention what they did to the land.
Similar roots had infected the structures at Naku Kubel. If they and the Dream Scourge were really the work of a god, and the gods thought it best to imprison this god, how could you let such a creature go free?
Alas, I found that rarely stops others from having opinions on what you've done.
It was Adir's arrival that disturbed Sapadal. We'll have nothing to fear from this god once we expel you from our lands.
Having Sapadal at our beck and call might be to our advantage. I'd like to see Rawatai try to stand toe-to-toe against a god.
Keeping watch over Sapadal was a sacred task Nandru gave us when he left. For that reason alone, my wardens owe them their allegiance.
Well, whatever happens, I suppose we can't put the godling back in the bottle now.
But come, we have more pressing matters to attend to. The Steel Garrote have attacked Paradis. Inquisitor Ludwine has already joined the battle. She must have traveled like the wind to get here so fast.
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days. But you wouldn't know it, judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's run through the militia like a whirlwind.
All right, let's keep the similes to ourselves.
Regrettably, she's not in the business of making exceptions for people she deems oathbreaker. So long as her passion for Wodka lives, so too will her spirit.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest of her will follow. I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think we can kill her.
Oh, good. That will be easy.
It is not, I think, impossible. Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want any of this to happen. It was Ludwine who called for the attack.
I didn't hear an answer, Ambassador.
She and her Steel Garrote laid siege to the city, shortly after you beat her to the garden.
We've had no news from inside for several days. From what we can observe, southern Paradis is in pieces, and the remaining militia batters at the gates to no avail.
Is there nothing our people can do?
Given the state of our supply routes after the Dream Scourge, and the Steel Garrote's destruction, we expect the people trapped inside will run short of fresh food and clean water in a matter of days.
Ludwine has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advisors and reinforcements swiftly in response. What will his representatives find when they arrive? A new colony? A budding grave room? Before you face Ludwine, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must decide, together. But whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. Adir will come. Indeed, we are already here. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. There would be Reprisals. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as you are. Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your own. It would be difficult. No, impossible. I'm certain you would fail. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing, setting up your own is another. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we won't agree on what that means overnight. We'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this is a hard road to walk.
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you. I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel, even less. But the Wardens cannot continue their vigil without water. If the others would fix our aqueduct, we're in.
Thirdborn alone couldn't stand against the storm. But the might of all of us, together, we could deter any but the most fearsome adversaries. And that's what cannons are for.
With the Envoy's support, we'd have a god in our pocket. What could the Empire do to stop us? When my people return to Fjord, we could create such miracles of animancy, the Living Lands would become the breadbasket of the world.
Rest into bounty. Does the winter frost dissuade the seeds? Many fruits on our boughs. We graft many leaves into strength.
Of course. Well, don't leave me in suspense. Oh, gods have mercy.
Solus and her Wardens stand vigil with the Living Lands.
You can count on Thirdborn. Our cannons stand with the Living Lands.
Fjord and her animancers stand with the Living Lands.
We deserve this opportunity. Thank you for believing in us.
Fighting a battle together is easy. I just hope everyone's willing to stick it out when it comes to the politics.
God, they made the right decision for once.
Finally, some sense permeates the proceedings.
On your head be the consequences. That leaves the matter of Ludwine and the Steel Garrote. She will never surrender, Envoy. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis, and eventually the island.
The Living Lands will never be free until we break the chain around our necks. Ludwine must die her final death.
She better say her goodbyes while she can.
I'm proud to fight at your side, Envoy. One last time.
Let's get to work then. We've got a walking corpse to bury.
The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter. The future waits for you.
Kick her ass, Envoy.
We will send reinforcements to help you reclaim the Eastern Gate. From there, work your way to the main plaza. May all the gods of Eora and the Living Lands protect you.
Let's take back the city together. Show the Steel Garrote how the Living Lands takes care of its own.
Time to stop the Steel Garrote. Lead the way, Envoy.
You should get some sleep. Makes sense. It's a lot to think about. I've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but it's always been a fight to survive. It's just a fight. Putting my life on the line for someone else's cause. It's the opposite of survival. It's foolishness. You helped me through some rough Sokka, Envoy. Your cause became my cause at that point. We're about to go out there and risk our lives for, what? A concept of how things ought to be? We might die, all to determine who sleeps in the nicest house in Paradise until the island decides it's time for a change. It's fine. Really. But it's some blessed day Sokka when you think about it. Right. Careful you don't get stuck in all that sap. I'll be all right.
Can't sleep? We're going into battle for the soul of the living lands, rallying under the banners of the Paradise militia. Your emperor will not be pleased. Indeed. When a godlike fights in battle, people take note of which side. The Adirans will doubt your loyalty. The locals will doubt your commitment. You may even doubt yourself. This is the first time you were told to pick a side. And I fear it won't be the last. All we ask in return is that you do the same for us. From what I understand, your ambassador is very persuasive, very powerful, and very accustomed to getting his way. For a politician like him, losing a battle is not a defeat. It's an opportunity. When he promises you the world, don't listen. He'll fill your head with lies if you let him. I'm glad we understand each other. It's good to see you fighting for the misfits and rabble-rousers. Time for you to get some rest. We have a big day ahead of us. In truth, I'm not as worried as I used to be. I've been thinking about the Inquisitor. Formulating a theory, you might say. A Death Guard clings to their existence by force of will. Stubbornness, unfinished business, that sort of thing. Ludwig is held together by faith, and that may be her undoing. Faith is the foundation of her reality. Faith in the righteousness of the gods. But according to her faith, Sapadal should not exist. A new god independent of hers? Blasphemy. By that logic, you shouldn't exist either. And yet here you are. By staying alive, of course. You are the godlike of a heretical god. A contradiction to her reality. Can you imagine how much she needs you to die? Her entire worldview depends on it. Who knows? Maybe that uncertainty is enough to make her mortal again. Or maybe not. I'm just theorizing as I go. Whatever happens, I want to see it for myself. For the research. Until next time. We should take a moment to acknowledge what happened back there. You liberated the god of the living lands. Now they are unchained, free to do whatever they want. That's quite a gamble you made. No doubt it would have gotten worse over time. If not for you, Sapadal would still be pacing their cage like a wild animal. Which means you have leverage over a god. How do you plan on using it? No time like the present. Sapadal's imprisonment shaped this island. Now that everything's changed, I'm curious what will happen. We cannot know if the living lands will normalize or destabilize as a result of our actions. For better or worse, change is inevitable. Maybe you'll find some comfort in prayer, now that one of the gods is listening. I hope you don't mind me bringing it up. The subject matter is a bit much for our little camp. You're too kind. I want you to know this has been an unforgettable experience. Wherever we go from here, I'm grateful to have been a part of it. Until next time. Not before I've done some reading. I can't wait to give the Steel Garrote a piece of my mind. Reckoning is long overdue.
You're gonna give him a lot more than a piece of your mind. Save some for...
It's no use. We're overrun.
Stop right there. I'm with you.
Glad that's over.
Stop right there. Push it up. Speed up!
I'll hang back and watch the game. We make a good squad.
Someone there.
Found you!
Let's get
You
them.
should be here.
Next one's mine.
Envoy, what are you doing here? I thought you left town weeks ago. About time. You're the only one Ludwig will listen to. Of course. We came here first. I had to pull Nasha away from pouring hot oil off the roof. Listen, one of the Garot's units is scouting up ahead, maybe 5 strong. I wouldn't want to fight them if I were you. Take this key. It'll unlock the gate to the canals. You can thank the captain who forgot it.
Why should I? It's always worked before. I wish someone had stood up to the Steel Garrote a long time ago. But, well, you're here now. That's what matters. Good luck.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
Can you not hear the screaming outside?
She's right. We can't go now. Then when? Should we wait till the Garrote set this bar alight? Envoy.
The fighting has to stop.
The boys are trying their best to be valiant, but...
What was that? Aha!
Here we go!
Kai, weapons ready.
To your left!
Stop right there.
Dodge this!
Envoy over here. What exactly do you think you're doing?
Liviana, don't you ever take a break?
You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you, fighting the Steel Garrote. What have you got to say for yourself? Well, at least you're alive. Try and keep it that way. Kai, is this your doing?
Come on. I couldn't have kept him out of the action if I wanted to.
I knew you were a bad influence. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn bloody mess. Yeah, stop the fighting. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's always nice catching up with a former patient. Wait a second. Jada? Jada Castell? What are you doing in the middle of this?
Surviving. It's good to see you, Liviana. Unfortunately, we're on a tight schedule. Do you need anything? Money, supplies?
Once this is over, I could always use another pair of hands at the clinic. The invitation's still open.
Thank you, but I've decided to tough it out as an animancer. On my own terms. Can you manage without me?
Are you kidding? I'm happy for you. Besides, I've got Chico on bandage duty. I just wanted you to know there's a place here whenever you want it. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
Come on. You know this. You practiced with Uncle Capo 100 times. Tight, but not too tight.
Envoy, it's good to see you fighting on the right side of history. Out of curiosity, what turned you against the Steel Garrote? It's high time we explain that to a few people. You know the Steel Garrote a lot better than we do. Their coordination is damn impressive. Any advice? I'll send it down the line. Ready to make history whenever you are.
You're a natural commander.
I may not be a hero, but I can still save somebody's life. Speed up!
I've done it better.
That'll show him.
You.
Wodeca demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
That's Ludwig ahead. Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
There you are. So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? You'll get your chance.
Then what are you waiting for?
Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring order through compromise. He failed. Order is meant to be imposed by a stern, guiding hand.
Her order wields sharp steel. She must set down her blade.
You can tell Wodeca yourself once we've sent you back to the wheel.
Don't insult my intelligence or my commitment to the cause. Treaties can be burned. The hands which shook over whatever deal you struck can be lopped off at the wrist. As for you,
Sapodal's chains are broken, which means your soul is in their grasp. I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. And if I don't know, then I cannot suffer you to live. Do not patronize me. I have every right to put down a threat to the Empire. Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a fight to remember, even in death.
We would not welcome her death. There is still ample shade for her beneath our tree.
All this time, I knew you'd be worthy prey. Don't let me down. Farewell, Envoy.
There's no coming back this time. Prepare yourself for the next world.
Let's finish this. Together.
Once I'm done killing you, your god of plague!
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
This is what it's prepared for. No quarter.
Queen among queens! Send me your aid! And it wasn't wrong! Go on!
Together!
Let me out!
Hey! Over here! Good one! Nothing stops me!
And it wasn't wrong! Burning! Go on!
wasn't wrong! Again, won't it come? Help me! One last time! As it wasn't wrong! Go on,
Enemy to the right! Wicket the fuck!
wasn't wrong!
Right flank!
Wasn't wrong! Veronica! Where are you? No! Don't abandon me now!
She's desperate!
You won't get me!
Next one's mine!
Wherever Ludwine is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done for, but we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradise, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. Thanks to you, the Living Lands has escaped Adiran oppression. The free settlements unite under a common banner and begin the fraught process of negotiating new traditions and values. The Empire withdraws. The frontier remains wild, but not for long. Paradis's rebels cannot accept your version of independence. After the assassin Egwolf died in custody, only a few of his people ally themselves with the United Settlements. To them, you will always be the oppressor. The refugees of Emerald Stair resettle in Thirdborn, bringing their skills and research to aid the local community. What starts as an uneasy partnership blossoms into a bond of trust. Through shared adversity, they find common ground. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Research yields new developments in the struggle against nature. Technology is shared among the United Settlements. The Empire cannot get in the way of progress. Though free, Shatterscarp is still haunted by the surviving Dream Thralls after the destruction of Naku Kubel. The routine hunt for the remaining monsters becomes part of Thirdborn's everyday life, another chore atop a hardscrabble existence with few comforts. The youthful make a game of the hunt, retrieving artifacts from the dead to return to those they left behind. Solace Keep clings to its long-held isolation at first, but after mourning her friend Kostya, Mihala reluctantly deigns to open the doors of the fortress. Some dwarves greet newcomers with glee. Others still mutter darkly about outsiders. Mihala flounders in her earliest negotiations with the rest of the Living Lands, but slowly learns compromise. She develops a taste for Valian sweets. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him. With many of his anxieties and lifelong fears addressed, Marius now feels very differently than he did when he first met the envoy. Still far more comfortable in the wilds than among people, he nonetheless finds that his worries about the unknown were merely self-protection against the traumas of his childhood. Armed with this knowledge, he finds himself more capable of living in civilization, and far less fearful of his home in Galawain's tusks. While he never regains his former place as a Warden of Solace, he spends his time traveling between Solace and Thirdborn, acting as a stubborn ambassador between the two. Giada continues to improve as an animancer. She dedicates her work to the spiritual health of the Living Lands, nurturing instead of exploiting. Others follow her example, seeking her tutelage from lands far and wide. In the years to come, rumors spread of a secret society gathering in the wilderness, where animancers work in harmony with nature. The dream of Fior Messiverno lives on in her. In a past life, Yardley was given a task: protect the history and knowledge of the godless. Now, many lifetimes later, she continues upholding that oath. She moves into the library in the garden, spending her days poring over the clay tablets there. But not even the letters from, and rare visit to, her lover help ease the loneliness that fills her days. Freed from torment for the first time in centuries, Sopodal turns their prodigious curiosity to the people that shaped them. They observe the ways their people live, and they think deeply about what they see. Though they flinch away from moments of violence, and they grieve souls returned to them too soon, the rage that once shook cities to rubble no longer rules them. Instead, they come to you with questions. They want to understand. After a time, they begin tentatively to garden. Where they can, they improve the lives of Kith, and the suffering that troubled them is reduced, if never fully eradicated. Their grief compels them to love, and they love unreservedly, with the power of a god. Sopodal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands and learn to experience the world as Kith do. Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together. And in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts. And on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Alright guys, well that was the end of it. If you've made it this far, thank you for sticking around. If you haven't already, please go ahead and consider clicking the like button for us. And I'll be back with something new. See you then.